In my video, I'm going to speak about what are the effects women face with gender inequality. To begin with, in the earlier 18th 19th century, women were portrayed as housewives who had to stay inside the house cooking and cleaning while the men worked. Women were treated unequally and poorly because they were simply viewed as a housewife, so they had no say in their own lives. This took a toll on them mentally because it made them feel like they couldn't be independent alone. Moving forward, women gained the rights to vote in 1920, and that was a step to freedom and equality. This was the first movement that was made towards women that benefited them because it was a step to their freedom. Although women were starting to get treated somewhat equally, there were still some obstacles they had to face. Overall, women are more likely to face job discrimination because they would have to work twice as hard compared to men to gain a little bit recognition. My primary discussion focuses on the effects that women face with gender inequality. Women are more likely to experience inequality when it comes to jobs and wages. Job discrimination mostly affects women because most employers are more likely to hire a man over a woman simply because they feel women won't do a good job. Women will have to work twice as hard just to obtain some acknowledgement in their workplace. This is a huge issue because this gives women less opportunities to succeed. Women face the most gender inequality when it comes to jobs because most of the jobs are male superior, meaning that it's a men environment with a small, if not no percentage of women working there. It's less likely for women to get hired. This is a huge problem because women deserve equal job opportunities and equal pay. Most women have to work double as hard compared to men to only get paid half of what a man would get. This happens very often nowadays, and it's sad to see because women should be getting the same pay, especially if they're working twice as hard. Women wages in soccer. Soccer is one of the most popular sports in America, but when you look closely, the men's soccer team gets more recognition than the women's soccer team. Although the women's soccer team is playing just as hard and winning trophies, they are still getting paid a lot less compared to the men's soccer team. As stated in the article, each member of the women's team was paid thousands of dollars less than the men at nearly every level of competition. Just recently, the women's soccer team achieved a milestone which is equal pay. The national women's soccer team won $24 million in equal pay settlement. This is a start to a great pathway of ending women inequality in wages and more. As you can tell in the table, men would get paid $76,000 per player if they made it to the World Cup roster, while the women would only get paid $15,000 per player. You can clearly see the huge difference. As you look further into the table, the pay differences just keep increasing. This is sad to see because the women's soccer team deserve equal pay because they are working just as hard. As I conclude this video, it's sad to admit, but women face a lot of discrimination throughout their life. From the earlier time, gender discrimination emerged and it affected women hugely because they felt they didn't have freedom of their own. But slowly, within time, women started to gain their freedom and a say of their own, but things still need to change. I hope this video opened a door for you to keep exploring and keep learning about gender inequalities and the effects women face.